The Election Commission of India has sent a notice to Congress leader Supriya Shrinate over a post on Kangana Ranaut. Remember Kangana Ranaut is BJP's candidate for the 2024 Lok Sabha polls from Himachal Pradesh's Mandi. The ECI said that the comments by Shrinate are prima facie violative of the Model Code of Conduct. She is required to respond by the 29th of March, 5 p.m. So, Supriya Shrinate has been sent a notice by ECI on her comments against Kangana Ranaut. A few days ago, there was an Insta post by Supriya Shrinate's account in which she had posted a picture of Kangana Ranaut in her modelling days. Of course, Ms. Shrinate had apologized and retracted that post, but the BJP has been demanding an apology, and also a delegation from the BJP had asked the ECI to take strict action against people who violate the Model Code of Conduct yesterday. Moving on, the ECI has also issued notices to BJP MP Dilip Ghosh over identify her father jibe against Mamata Banerjee. Remember, Dilip Ghosh is also the sitting MP from Mednipur. He is also the candidate from Bardhaman Durgapur for the BJP. This time he's been the state president of the BJP till recently. I have my colleague Saurabh Gupta joining us with more details on this. Saurabh, Dilip Ghosh is known to make these comments. Now, of course, the show cause notice against him comes as a surprise. But tell us, how is he taking it?
Well, this has been the political headline of the day, with Dilip Ghosh not only making that caustic and controversial comment earlier, but also somewhat offering an apology this morning. But in spite of that, the Trinamool Congress has visited the Election Commission with a delegation and asked for action. One is he should be suspended from the election process for 7 days, his candidature should be cancelled, etc., etc., is what the Trinamool Congress delegation told the Election Commission this morning when they visited the Election Commission in Kolkata. Now, obviously, this has become a bit of an embarrassment for the BJP, because remember, the BJP has been focusing on a women's issues-led campaign, the Prime Minister's handle and all the other BJP handles saying Modi ka parivar, which is basically to stay away from more personal comments and personal attacks. At least if you see the Prime Minister's speeches during this election campaign earlier, they've all been very, very targeted towards the issues that the BJP wants to make an election plank. And therefore, this seems to be a distraction from that electoral strategy of the BJP, which is why, obviously, that apology too has been offered, but the Election Commission also stepping in and asking Dilip Ghosh to explain his comments. And this is perhaps in line with what was expected, that this hadn't gone down well, and the BJP itself also hadn't taken this well. And there was that news earlier about a show cause notice being sent to Dilip Ghosh by his own party.
Right. Thank you, Saurabh, for joining us with those details. I also have Mohammad Ghazali, my colleague, joining us. Ghazali, ECI has sent a notice to Congress leader Supriya Shrinate. She, of course, had retracted her post on Kangana Ranaut. Kangana is, of course, the Mandi candidate for the BJP. She had herself posted on this. Of course, that post was extremely problematic, misogynistic and offensive. Tell us, how are the people of Himachal looking at this action by ECI?
See, as far as this entire episode is concerned, the BJP's local leadership in Himachal Pradesh is going to raise this issue throughout the campaign, because Himachal goes to polls in the last phase of, Himachal will vote in the last phase of the polls, that is on June 1st. And since her announcement as the candidate from the Mandi Lok Sabha constituency, the first thing what we have heard is that Congress's candidate or the sitting MP from Mandi, Pratibha Singh, has refused yet again that she won't be contesting the Lok Sabha polls this time. But as far as those comments are concerned, the BJP is raising that issue, and it's connecting it with multiple other issues on which Congress has often been found very wanting. Like Kangana said that the city of Mandi, or the place of town of Mandi, has been used derogatory, has been shown in a derogatory light by the Congress leaders, but it is a Chota Kashi or mini Kashi for us due to its religious significance. Now, one particular issue, one sexist comment will now be utilized or exploited by the BJP in the campaign, connecting it with different issues. It is just not a sexist comment, but using that word for the town of Mandi will also have the BJP feels that it has got religious connotation, and they'll yet again try to sort of gherao be the Congress or attack Congress on the religious issue, that how Congress has always been anti-Hindu, and the kind of politics BJP does when it comes to Hindutva issues or issues of religion. So with Congress will certainly find itself on a weak wicket if it keeps explaining itself on why the comments were issued, and it will certainly hope that this issue dies down sooner than later. But the BJP will certainly use it throughout the campaign, connecting it with the dignity of women or Mahila Asmita, and we have seen how Prime Minister has been talking to those women candidates on the BJP from different seats, also asserting the same fact that BJP respects women, while Congress behaves or does this or outrages or issues such insensitive comments against women, is what the BJP will try to play throughout the campaign.
Right. Thank you, Ghazali, for joining us with those details. So politics playing out over those comments which are being seen as anti-women. I also have Kapil Madan, who's a political analyst, advocate, Supreme Court, and also Amitabh Tiwari, who's a political analyst, joining us to debate this, to discuss this. Let me ask you, Mr. Madan, so the BJP has, of course, proved that it is taking action against people who use hate speeches. We saw many of them getting dropped in so many lists of the BJP. Now, the ECI has also sent a show-cause notice to Mr. Ghosh over his offensive comments against Mamata Banerjee. The BJP is asking Congress, why is the party falling short of action? Because the comments, the post by Supriya Shrinate, of course she has retracted them and apologized, but that is extremely offensive, and it is in Himachal Pradesh where your Congress is, where your government is also on thin ice. Do you think this will impact women's votes and at least the reputation of the party?
See, I'll let me give you an example. We all saw when, Honorable Prime Minister Modi was campaigning in Bengal against TMC. Prime Minister himself made that Didi oh Didi remark in a humorous way, and nothing happened insofar as the Election Commission is concerned. Now, coming to the issue at hand, wherein Ms. Supriya Shrinate has come, openly said what has happened, how that has happened, and she has not for a second tried to defend this incident. So she has condemned unequivocally. She has also said that she's trying to find out, because different people had access to the accounts. She's trying to find out who the person was who has actually posted this comment. And at this point in time, BJP is not concerned with taking this issue to a logical conclusion, because had this been the case, the BJP should have, registered the FIR against the concerned person. After the registration of FIR, the post, can be tracked down through the IP address, that who actually was the individual, what was the location from which this was posted. I also, at this point in time, do not rule out, any political conspiracy behind it. And it is only after a detailed investigation, we can come to a conclusion whether this was orchestrated by anyone from the Congress, or it was, misdeed, orchestrated, or, planned or planted by any outsider.
But do you think that the Congress should have actually walked the extra mile to reassure women of the country that it is extremely concerned about this post? Do you think that should have happened and the Congress party should have taken more action on this?
See, when I said here, when Ms. Shrinate has publicly apologized, she has taken responsibility of the post. She is not saying it has not come from her account. She has admitted that it has come from her account. However, there were several individuals who had access to her account, and any individual has posted, and she has very categorically made that admission on camera. So had this been the case, if
okay, let me ask this question to Amitabh Tiwari. Mr. Tiwari, there are these bread and butter issues, and of course there are these issues of women. Do you think that there is some sort of relatability, at least when it comes to dignity of women in the voter base? Because there are also urban sensibilities, there are rural sensibilities. People are also wondering if Brijbhushan Sharan will be given a ticket from the BJP. So there are many questions, and this whole gamut of women's dignity is a huge field. Do you think the parties are doing enough when it comes to protecting women's honor and respect?
See, essentially the women vote has emerged as a very important vote bank. And in 12 states, the women voters are more in number than the men. So they have their own sensibilities, issues and demands. So all the political parties across the spectrum are trying to woo the women voter through increased representation. And we've seen in this case that even the Election Commission of India because this is just the start of the election season, has cracked the whip on both the people who were at fault, one from the BJP and one from the Congress, and has asked for explanation. Now, if we see, the BJP has taken action on its own member and has asked for, I think, explanation from Dilip Ghosh, whereas same has not been yet seen from the Congress party. So it's a battle of perception, a battle of optics as well. While Supriya Shrinate ji has clarified her statement that somebody else has posted from her account, but then it also needs to be, I think, the party as well as the individual is duty bound, because in an election season, when so many people have access to a social media account which can create fake news, or which can create issues of disturbances, then the party and the individual also have to be careful as to whom these social media accounts have, or who are these people who have access to, because I just can't say that I have given access to so many people and somebody just posted it, because it is on the individual's responsibility as well. And I hope the Congress party and the person concerned will take suitable action.
Mr. Tiwari, at the same time, you see the Prime Minister making these very important calls to Rekha Patra, who's a sexual assault survivor. We saw him making a call to Professor Sarasu, who's also fighting a very difficult battle from the SC constituency of Alathur in Kerala. And he today made this call to Amrita Roy. So on one hand, the Prime Minister is reaching out to women, especially those who are fighting difficult electoral battles, and also women who are not really, who've not been part of the BJP for many years. They're all, influential people who have struggled, people who have resisted, and who have been part of the BJP in the last few days. So do you think there is some messaging out there, because there is also this discourse on anti-women and pro-women politics, but there's also this Prime Minister trying to do his own bit in motivating women who can be seen as vulnerable?
I think this all started with the Shakti remark of Rahul Gandhi ji, and we have seen that the BJP generally latches onto some issue and then also tries to take it to its logical end and conclusion. And here we have also two states wherein the battle is fairly difficult for the BJP, and the BJP wants to gain extra seats and vote share from these two states. And women again are going to play an important role, and that's how the Prime Minister perhaps is trying to give a message that the party and the leadership is with the women. They are sensitive to their sensibilities and demands. They have given 50 plus tickets, though it's less than 1/3 promise under the reservation bill, and that is how it wants to spread the message, or be on the right side of the optics, or drive a narrative that it is.
Mr. Madhav, one of the interesting candidates that the Congress sort of fielded yesterday was R. Sudha from Tamil Nadu. Now, this is a woman who heads the women's wing in Tamil Nadu Congress parties, and she basically had written a letter in 2021 to Sonia Gandhi seeking more representation of women in politics, and now she's been fielded from Tamil Nadu. So tell me one thing. Comments like this, or like, the inadvertent post by Supriya Shrinate, all these things, what kind of impact do they have on Congress party or even BJP parties, women representatives, women who are actually struggling to sort of come fight this very difficult battle electorally? What kind of responsibility does the party have to ensure that they have it at least easy when it comes to, at least the projection and the narrative?
So I'll tell you what, it is the Congress party who has been very sensitive to these kind of issues. You've not seen any single person, who has come forward and defended this post in any manner. So, it is, the party's transparency on this issue. No leader, no statement has come, that supports to what has happened here. And the fact is that the BJP is trying to get political mileage out of it, because they know that their entire campaign of 400 plus seats is it's in the air. I mean, that does not have any credible foundation, and that's the reason why they are trying to even take political mileage out of these kind of mischievous errors. Again, I am saying here, you cannot rule out a possibility that this has been planted by some individual. That's the reason why I started my argument when I made my opening remark to say it is only after a detailed investigation. But Mr.
then it is the responsibility of the party to sort of make it very clear and walk that extra mile, file an FIR, ask for police action, isn't it?
So is in Delhi, see this Miss Supriya Shrinate is based out of Delhi, and I would presume that since the communication department also operates out of Delhi, so I would presume that it is the Delhi police that has jurisdiction over the matter, and the BJP is not at all interested in taking this to a logical conclusion. That's the reason why, because in a matter like this, it takes few minutes, for police cyber cell to initiate, an investigation out of it.
Right. Mr. Tiwari, do you think that the Congress should have done a little bit more to, sort of at least reassure its women supporters, or at least women of the country, or even men of the country, that it is very serious about women's rights, dignity of women, or at least the projection of women?
See, since the women vote bank is emerging as a very important vote bank, the Congress could have come out with a statement citing Supriya Shrinate, not chiding her for what a statement is that, but these sorts of statements have been erroneously posted on one of our individuals' accounts, and the Congress party does not stand with it. It's a very simple statement. Could have soothed the nerves of a lot of people, but it's part of the strategy that they have decided not to do that. And anyways, the ECI has sent notice to both these people, and they will have to respond. And the ECI will then again get into the investigation,
right,
and will take the necessary action against both these individuals.
Okay. And last word from you, Mr. Madan, now people speaking is one thing, but the digital accounts, the digital outreach is also seen as an extension of what they communicate to people. So what is that extra care that, politicians and especially candidates and party people need to take when it comes to social media accounts? Because this whole excuse that I was not running my account and somebody else was doesn't seem to be working, doesn't seem to be believable on ground now.
So you can't, at this juncture completely rule out that possibility that someone has misused it. But yes, as a matter of caution, I would still say that, keep your passwords very secure. Ensure that, no post is out without your specific approval. Keep a very close, eye on whatever is happening from your account. And these are, some of the safeguards. Ensure your OTPs are preserved. Ensures that, you don't log in from different devices, because sometimes it also happens that if I have logged in from one device, I forget to log off, and I eventually end up remaining logged in at different devices without I being aware. Sometimes you even sell your phones without properly formatting it, resetting it, and the person who gets the phone has access to all these pre-installed passwords, apps, etc., which may be misused.
Right. So thank you so much for joining me on this debate. Of course, this is something that we'll keep discussing even as election activity picks up. Thank you so much.